Today I'll be showing you how to repair a leak that may be caused by the valve body. If you are experiencing a leak that seems to be coming from in between the trigger frame and the receiver, or still having a leak after replacing the cup seal, these will be the signs to inspect the valve body. In order to get to the valve body, you should have the rear internals and front internals removed, which were covered in our previous video. The marker should look like this, with the front internals removed and the back internals removed. So now what we want to do is go ahead and remove the eye cover plate. So you want to go ahead and remove the eye cover plate screw with your 2.5mm wrench. Remember that you have two eye cover plates, so go ahead and do the other side. Once you have the screws removed, go ahead and pick up on the eye cover plates and set them down. Now you'll be able to remove the set screws for the trigger frame. You have one in the front and one in the back. So go ahead and grab your 3mm wrench and loosen up the set screws. Once you have the set screws removed, go ahead and slide off the trigger frame and set those aside. Now with the 4mm wrench, go ahead and remove the valve body set screw. Once you remove the valve body set screw, go ahead and grab your battle swab, slide it into the bottom breech, and push the valve body out the front. Now that you have replaced the O-ring on the valve body and inspected the valve body face, go ahead and insert it back into the marker. Make sure that you have the blind hole facing towards the set screw for the valve body. Once you push it in as far as you can with your fingertips, go ahead and grab the battle swab and line it up with the set screw hole. Once you have it lined up, go ahead and grab your set screw and tighten it down onto the valve body. Now remember that your Spyder Fenix has eyes, and the body has cutouts for the eye wires. Make sure when you reinsert the trigger frame that you get the wires to go into the cutout slots. So what you want to do is go ahead and line up your trigger frame and get your eye cover plates left and right. Go ahead and pick up the body and slide it over the right cover plate and slide on the left cover plate. Go ahead and lock the cover plates on with the set screw and repeat the process on the opposite end. Once you have those screwed in, go ahead and line up the wires into the slots and connect the trigger frame. Once you have the trigger frame connected, go ahead and get the set screws and tighten those on. Now you're ready to reassemble the marker. To reassemble the marker, go ahead and grab the front plug, valve spring, cup seal, and valve pin. Make sure to guide the valve pin through the valve body and to line up the thread hole on the front plug onto the bottom hole for the vertical screw. Once you have that lined up, go ahead and grab the vertical adapter. Make sure that the O-ring is still on the vertical adapter and slide the vertical screw into the plug. Then with your 4mm Allen wrench, tighten the vertical screw. Once you have the vertical adapter on tight, go ahead and reinstall the regulator. So with the regulator, go ahead and screw it onto the vertical adapter. Line up the ASA with the bottom of the trigger frame and install the set screws. Make sure when they're snug to give them a quarter turn afterwards to ensure that they're on tight. Now what you want to do is go ahead and turn on the frame, turn off the safety, and turn off the eyes so you can get the rest of the rear internals in. So go ahead and grab your striker. Make sure that you insert the O-ring end part first and that the cutout hole for the top cocky knob is facing upwards. Go ahead and slide it in and apply pressure on the back while you pull the trigger. Once it slides in, make sure that the cutout hole is facing upwards for the bolt. Go ahead and slide in the bolt, line up the top cocky knob with the striker on the bottom, and lock it in place. Once it's locked in place, go ahead and push forward on the pin and pull on the trigger to slide it all the way forward. Once that's forward, go ahead and get the striker buffer, insert the spring, and then the striker plug, and tighten it down by turning it clockwise. Once you have that tightened, go ahead and test the marker by pulling back with the top cocking off so it locks in the back position, doesn't slide forward, and when you pull the trigger, the brush will slide forward. Now you can turn off the marker, and your gun's ready to be tested with air.